Okay, so this is session B13, and it's a special session on cooperative systems incorporating immersive technologies. The key here is immersive technologies such as VR, AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, brain-machine interfacing, and so on. And then that's the general theme of this session. So my name is Harish, and I work at the Shanghai Jiao Tong University. So I'm chairing this session. So this is the outline for this presentation. I want to make it a little more organized. So I just make a very quick note so you can know me a little better in like 1 minute. And then I will also introduce the special session team, okay? Other than this, I quickly give you an overview. I create a small graph to show you the kind of presentations that will happen or the kind of papers that will be presented today. And then after that, after the end, we can also together make a concluding remark or add some comments together. So that's the outline. A quick introduction about me. I live in China, so probably you could send me an email or scan this QR code to add me in WeChat if that works in your region. So I have a PhD in industrial engineering. Before that, I have a master's in engineering and a master's in science. Currently, I hold two positions. One is with the Shanghai Jiao Tong University. Other than this, recently I've also taken up a position of adjunct professor with the Schema Business School in France. So today I am presenting from the Schema office in Suzhou. I came here for a quick meeting and then I just carry on. My area of research interest basically is industrial immersive technologies, basically VR and augmented reality, more towards handheld augmented reality right now. And other than this, I also focus a little bit on digital transformation design, and in my current institute, I also co-work in the area of supply chain management and supply chain design. So before we go further, I just want to quickly make a note and thank our team that has worked very hard to bring to you this session. So the session was hosted in 2020, and as we know, because of the pandemic, we had to postpone to 2021 to have these presentations. We had quite a good response, and the team consisted of doctors from the hospital, key professors from different regions, and so on, and across regions. And it was a lot of hard work went there. So just quickly mention them and thank the senior professors for helping to process the papers submitted in this session and vet out the papers to ensure high quality. Okay, quickly a slide to kind of demonstrate the kind of presentations or kind of papers that we will have today. So as far as this session goes, we have 6 key papers. If we look at the basic area in which these papers have discussions or findings is the virtual reality space, wherein the first paper probably will talk a lot more detail about the eye tracking as a concept to enhance the core technology in virtual reality. And then there is an application related paper that discusses infrastructure for spoken English learning using virtual reality, which is very important during this pandemic situation because many countries are still under lockdown and many regions have been taking classes online for a long time now. And then probably learning how we can use immersive virtual reality probably from this research is very helpful in terms of understanding or going forward in this situation. Other than this, we have a very core paper on deep learning method to identify defect in the silicon industry. Other than this, we have a paper on the Computer Supported Cooperative Work, CSCWD, and then there's a summarization of tools and techniques in this paper, followed by a paper, 2 papers that deal with disorder-related or therapy-related applications for immersive tech. And then the key disorders that are discussed in these papers are the depression, internet gaming, alcohol use, and these there is correlation between these situations or these conditions in these papers. So that's the summarization of my reading from the papers that have been accepted and will be presented today. So first of all, I would like to invite Professor Lee and his team to discuss the perspective on eye tracking based studies in immersive virtual reality. So that will be the first paper we will discuss. And I also welcome you again and declare this special session open now. Okay, just one moment.
Hello, everyone. Can you see my shared screen?
Yes, perfectly well, and we can hear you very well. Please go ahead.
Okay. So now I can begin my presentation, right? Okay. Good afternoon, Dr. Hurry-ish, the chair, and everyone. I'm very happy to share this presentation, the research of our team. I'm Chun-Hong Lee from School of Public Policy and Administration, Xi'an Jiaotong University. Today, I want to present this paper about the review of eye-tracking based studies titled Perspective on Eye-Tracking Based Studies in Immersive Virtual Reality. This is the outline of my presentation. Includes first, I will introduce the research objective of VR, immersive VR, and eye tracking. And then I will provide the review method of this review study. After that, I will go findings of approaches of eye tracking and applications of eye tracking in immersive VR. And then future directions will be discussed. And finally, I will end with conclusion.
Okay, so this is how the predictive when identify enter virtual world. So this is the end of our presentation. So thank you very much. So if you have any questions, please feel free to raise.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Alex. You can stop sharing your screen so I can share the screen. And in the meantime, others can start asking their question. Just feel free to unmute. And okay. Yeah, please feel free to ask questions. We are more than happy to have more interactions. For people who have joined late, the presenter was talking about English language, virtual reality, using virtual reality, learning a second language. The case study is English language. Please feel free to ask a question if you have any. Okay. So let me just, please feel free to stop me anytime if you have a question. In the meantime, I just make some small comments. Professor Alex, firstly, it's an honor to have you as a paper because as others may not know, Professor Alex and me, when we were PhD student, we meet in the University of Hong Kong several years ago. And that time we have a big discussion about language learning and English and Chinese, because I'm in the similar situation. I'm learning Chinese as a second language, and Professor Alex is trying to improve, and his team is trying to improve the English as their first language. And then we had a discussion, and today to see so much development in terms of language learning from you, I'm very happy. It's a big honor. And then a general note is a little bit Professor Alex probably could have mentioned is second language learning is a very big market in this region, this part of the world. So mostly this whole ecosystem runs on imported manpower from several native English speaking countries. The problem with the pandemic is travel restrictions had kicked in almost a year back, and this has effectively kind of contained people movement. So now what happens is the language learning or the second language learning, the demand is the same, but the supply has fallen down exponentially, right? And we even face it with Chinese language, wherein I used to take Chinese language courses in my school, the school I work at, frequently. But because of the minimum number of students not being there, and the pandemic and the disruptions, right? All this learning has come down. And then when I travel around campuses and people try to have some small talk with me to know more about me or where I come from in Chinese language, I have some problems making fluent conversation. So my Chinese is reasonably very little, but yeah, the point is this research is very important. This line is very important. So thank you again, Professor Alex. And if we have a question, we just send you an email and you could please answer the question through email. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Harris, as well. Thank you, Professor Harris, and thank you, everyone, as well. It's my honor to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's just quickly look at the third paper. The third paper focuses on deep learning methods, and it is very specific to the PCB, printed circuit board industry in the semiconductor side. And then these use extreme visual methods and deep learning approaches, combine them to identify defect in PCBs. So I would like to invite the team, Professor Wu and team, to please come and present. Let me stop sharing my screen, and then Professor Wu and team could please start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfectly good, and we can hear you very clearly. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Professor. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm from Shanghai University, and my name is Yuxi Ge. This is my great honor to participate in this conference today and to introduce this paper completed by our group. Our paper's name is PCB defect detection using deep learning method. Okay, I will introduce it in 5 parts. There are the references. Thanks for listening. This is all my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ge. Thank you for your presentation. Very clear and very slowly you have explained it very details. So could you please stop sharing the screen so I can share the screen back and invite the next presenter?
Okay.
In the meantime, I also open the session for questions to Ge and his team, so you can kind of ask questions and he will be more than happy to answer. Just to be sure, some of the participants will send a question in terms of chat, okay? And then what I will do is I will pass these questions on to the presenters, and then they can directly send them a reply and maybe have more interactions this way, okay? So just give you a heads up. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so let me just make a quick comment. I don't have a question. I really think the IOU ratio looks very good. And I just want to make a quick comment. Ge and his team's research is very important because as we all know, due to the pandemic, there is a global semiconductor and PCB shortage. If you have noticed in the recent times, the price of cell phones, laptops, and almost electric cars have gone up exponentially because of the shortage. And then it is going to create a global semiconductor shortage related pandemic next. So this is the prediction and everybody is very worried about this situation. And then this kind of, the kind of research Ge has presented to identify PCB defects, a lot of interest in this area of automating defect detection using machine learning in the recent time. So as to make it more efficient to kind of reduce improve the yield or reduce the kind of defects in the manufacturing process. So it's very important direction. And again, I am very thankful. It's a very clear presentation. And then if there is a question, I'll pass it on to Ge and his team. Thank you. Okay. Let's just quickly look at the next presentation. If we look at the session overview, right? The next presentation is presentation number 4. I've been informed that the presenter number 4 has not arrived. So let me just make a quick call to him. If he doesn't join, we skip to the presentation number 5. The agenda of presentation number 4, if you look at the conference proceedings, is is more towards the computer supported work. So this is more important in terms of the tools and techniques that is applied to CSCW in practice. So the presenter of this presenter of the paper number 4 is just give me a minute, is Miss Dr. Wang from Shandong Normal University. Dr. Wang, if you're in session, could you just say hi, and I can give the controls to you? Okay, I believe Dr. Wang is not here. What we may do is we may, if he joins later on, please feel free to send me a text message on the screen, and then we can quickly kind of arrange the presentation for you in the end. So let's just quickly go to the 5th presentation. The 5th and the 6th presentation are very connected. If you look at the overview, it's a little bit of an honor for me to host the 5th and 6th presentation because Professor Hari-Mohan Pandey from UK was my teacher when I was doing my MTech, Masters in Engineering in Computer Science. So he taught in the school in India, then he moved to UK and became a professor there. And it's an honor to track his work through LinkedIn and other social media in the recent years. And then if you look at the main agenda of the 2 papers that are very connected that his team is going to present today is based on the therapeutical application of in immersive tech or therapeutical discussions. So he has effectively in his work, if you read from the session outline, has combined factors that lead to depression, internet gaming, and alcohol use. And in one paper, he has combined like internet gaming versus depression and alcohol use disorder versus gaming or depression in the second one. So that's very interesting and is my honor again. So for the first paper, I would like to invite Professor Pandey to discuss human cognition to analyze alcohol use disorder and correlation with internet gaming disorder. Professor Hari-Mohan Pandey and team, if you're here, you could just say hi and I can give the controls.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just give me one. Yes, very clearly. You can share your screen, please, Professor.
Okay. My first paper, and the title of this presentation is given here, and it is human cognition to analyze alcohol use disorder and correlation with internet gaming disorder. So basically, this research is intended to analyze the relationship between the person who is addicted of playing online games, and he is also addicted of taking alcohols. Myself is Dr. Hari-Mohan Pandey from the Department of Computer Science, Agile University, United Kingdom, and my email ID is given here. So if you want to ask any question, I will make myself available to answer your question. But down the line, if you feel that you have any question, then you can write me email on this email ID. I have divided this presentation in 4 key sections. The first section is introduction. Then I will be discussing about background and related work, then simulation results, and finally, I will be giving concluding remark of this presentation. 2 experiments using the benchmark dataset, and then we presented rigorous analysis on the experimental results to determine or to explore the relationship between alcoholic use disorder and internet gaming disorder. So thank you very much. Question answer.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So the target research, the target audience of this research is basically the children who are more involved in gaming. How have you connected alcoholism?
It is not just the children. Let me clarify from my side. Not only children, even if you see the teenagers who are in the range of this age range of 15 to 30, they also spend most of their time playing the games. I have notice that the student, especially the students who are living far from their families, they are living with their friends in the hostels, or so they spend most of their time, especially in the night, they play massively multi-connected online games. So like I'm located here in UK and my friend is in China or in Japan or in India. So what we generally do, we connect with each other and play the game. So the target is not only the kids, the target is, the range of age is varying from kids, teenagers, old, all.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay, so next presentation, I'm the next presentation also. So I'm giving the next presentation also. So I'm going to stop this and I will share the next slides. Scenario of the online gaming is same which I explained for my previous slide. So motivation and belief is nowadays internet is very popular, and we spend most of our time using the internet, and that is why I select.
Please, yeah, you could please stop sharing the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you for your very detailed presentation, Professor. I believe when we received the papers, we invited medical doctors to get reviews, and for your paper especially. And then we have excellent reviews, and the key highlight point that they talk about is the recall-based methods that are used currently in the systems. To evaluate these kind of mental disorders, and the effort behind the recall-based methods, right? And then they have also highlighted the importance of what you're trying to do, and we hope you could extend it further, and then we could have more contributions from you in the coming time. Other than this, because we are running short on time, if there's any question, I will personally send you an email, or in the social media where I'm connected with you, I'll send you a question and you can please answer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So before we have a concluding remark, we have one last paper. I invite Dr. Wu, Chi Wu, paper number 202050. So let me stop sharing my screen, and let me invite Dr. Chi Wu to quickly present her paper. Thank you.
It is my honor to present our paper. Our paper name is Communicate with Traffic Lights and Vehicles based on multi-agent reinforcement learning. Here's my introduction. Traffic congestion causes serious problems such as longer waiting time, more gas cost, and severe air pollution. There we have some
screen now. It's a very good presentation. Thank you. Firstly, I thank all the speakers, and we also have one extra speaker in the end. Thank you all for presenting your conference, your findings, and also participating in this special session. This is our team that helps us to manage things. So our graduate assistants, you may contact them anytime in case there is some discussion, or they will contact you if there's a question, but people did not have the time to find. They are my graduate assistants. I would also like to again thank you, and then I will probably try my best to pursue some special issue for the best papers in this conference, in this session, some papers with very interesting or higher level of question. I may request Professor Weiming and Professor Amy to please consider a special session in some good journal, and then I will contact you, or my team will contact you to request your further improved submission for a special issue, if possible, in the coming time. Please feel free to stop by Shanghai Jiao Tong University if you are there around, and welcome you for some tea. Again, I thank you, and I thank the committees and Professor Weiming for working so hard in this very difficult situation and managing this conference and this special session over the last 2 years. I thank you all. I would like to quickly ask if there's any comments from your sides, and then after this, we can just conclude the session. Thank you. Okay, I believe there are no comments. So I declare this session closed. Please feel free to contact me or my team anytime, and we will be more than happy to assist you to connect with the other authors or ask some questions that is left out. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening, and thank you all. Bye-bye.